Today, I'm going to show you how I find the best bot settings that are statistically valid. A lot of trading channels out there make really strong claims about trading systems. They say 100% win rate or 90% win rate, and then you try them out and they just don't deliver. Well, why is that? That's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. So subscribe to the channel and like the video if you want to see how I statistically validate trading systems and why that gives me real confidence that this trading system on screen has an edge to use in real time. This is the Wolfpack Elite Trading Bot. These settings were all found automatically through my back-end system. I didn't have to dial in the settings meticulously one by one, and they went through real stress testing. Take note of the total profit and loss. Max drawdown is just 17% with around 1,700 total trades. The win rate isn't even that high, but it doesn't need to win big, and I'm going to show you exactly why. If you look here, there's a really strong resistance. This is all out of sample data, and this trading system was trained on previous data. So this complicated area is a new challenge for the trading bot. And pay attention to how the bot picked up on this resistance here. It got into this trade early, and as soon as the move was clear, it held it short all the way down. We're still in this trade live right now. Stick around because I'm going to show you exactly why these settings work and how you can start using real statistical verification methods in your own trading. Now, if you look at these numbers here, these are the parameters that the trading system found automatically. It tuned for this chart specifically, and this is from 2018 to 2022. Now, I have different settings here. I'm going to get into exactly what these are, and this is crucial to understand because most trading channels that you look at, most people talking about trading bots, they only do training data. What does that mean? Well, they're tuning and adjusting for the data set that's in front of them. Now, that, if you understand anything about statistics, actually can invalidate your results. Why is that? Because you're biasing yourself towards the data that's all revealed. Now, what happens if you look here, this chart stops at 2022? Well, there's 3 years more of data. Now, where did that data go in this backend system that finds all of the settings organically and systematically? Well, all of those settings went into the testing data. Now, this testing data is blind data. So this is from 2022 all the way to now, 2025, when I did the test. And this is actually what you're more likely to achieve in real time. And that is what is on the screen here, where the bot is encountering unseen data and it's challenging itself. So how is it reacting? Well, it's holding its trade all the way down, and that's what is good. Now, one thing you'll notice here is the win rate says 25%, and in real time, you're not actually going to achieve 25%. You're not actually going to achieve 17% drawdown. There is always variation in real time. So when you're watching these channels, what most of them will say is they'll say, oh, this is great, 90% win rate, 5% drawdown, and then the strategy repaints or is curve fitted, meaning that it's hyper fixed for the data set and can't actually respond in real time, and it won't perform. So when you try it, it immediately starts going down and never comes back and recovers. So one key thing to remember is that the max drawdown you see here is absolutely not the worst drawdown that you would expect when you actually take this out to play with it in real time with real money. That's important to know. So the training data, which this goes to 2022, we're going to show you the entire history, or I can just show you what this looks like from 2022 all the way to now, and you'll see that the win rate drops a little bit, the max drawdown comes up a little bit, and the actual total P&L isn't as high. So one of the key factors here when you're going through and analyzing, when you're trying to find your best settings, you're probably gonna do what everyone does, where they open their settings, they scroll through here, and I try going one by one to maximize the net profit. Now, why is that wrong? Well, the thing that's wrong about that is you don't even need the maximum net profit. What you want is to, number one, probably minimize max drawdown. You want to minimize your actual risk in real time if you're putting real money in it. And you want to maximize the other variables like Sharpe ratio, which is a volume, it's volatility weighted drawdown, and profit. So it's basically a profit and loss adjusted for volatility. And so here, the Sharpe ratio is 0.6, which, you would like to get it up to 1.0, but the way that this strategy works doesn't necessarily need the Sharpe extremely high, because it's trying to find these really strong wins and this back and forth, this tug of war, where the market was deciding where to go. You're prepared to take these small losses if you're going to take this bigger gain. So you might have noticed, what is BFS training? What is BFS testing? Now, what I have done here is the training data is that data that goes till 2022. Now, you might have noticed, what is BFS training? What is BFS testing? Now, I'm going to get into this, but it's essentially bootstrapping. So what you're doing is you're downloading, and you can't do this in TradingView. You have to do this totally customizable. You have to randomize the price data to stress test your bot. Now, you could do other things, like you could increase the volume, you can increase the periods of noise so that there's more choppy periods. You can test your system and push it to the limit. You can increase the amount of slippage and all of that to really see, okay, how much variance can this system handle? And that more variance that it can generally handle, the more distortion that it can take, the better in real time. Because when the market's going up like this bot is now long all the way up here. This is several 100% profit. Well, what is it doing in the downtime? What is it doing when the market gets choppy like this? Those are the key points. And so how it feels like on these days when you're actually running a trading system like Wolfpack Elite Bot or any system that you might have coded on your own, these days feel like, okay, it's chipping away at the accounts. And so as long as you've made one of those really big trades 100, 200%, you can afford to come down a little bit on these tough days until the market clarifies itself and really starts to move in one particular direction, either up or down. It doesn't matter for a trading bot as long as you can trade long and short on your system. Now, this system can do that. And if you notice on the chart here, there's all of these yellow bars, and that's just trying to filter out a lot of this noise that you see on the chart. So a lot of these really difficult periods, the bot is just disallowed from trading in. So that is one other key factor as well to make the bot not completely burn itself out, because the goal is to get to this point on the chart where you're going to make 100 to 200% trading. So I'm going to show you another chart now. This is the ADA 15-minute chart. If you look at the top left here, this is where you can get a subscription to this trading system, which I have ruthlessly over the last 2 years robust tested. That's why I haven't been uploading as much. If you're a regular viewer to the channel, if you're new here, we're back. We're back in business, and I'm bringing the big guns to the party, because nobody has something like this, like a trading dashboard that is mathematically and statistically proving itself and finding the best settings automatically. There are other systems out there, like you can get, there's a TradingView optimizer script I've seen. It's like a Chrome extension where, it'll go one by one and it can deep backtest. The thing is, some of those deep backtests on TradingView, here we'll just go back. Some of these deep backtests, if I click deep backtest on TradingView, it's updating the report. This is going to take 10-20 seconds, which is actually, you might think that's quite fast. How many candles are going back? How many years is that? 15 minutes times however many years. See, I'm yapping on and on and on. And it's taking like 20 seconds to get one backtest. Now, if you're coding your own backend system, or if you're using the Wolfpack Elite bot, which already has settings that have gone back and done all the robustness tests, it actually does take, probably on my computer that I'm running it on, if you're running it locally, it's actually probably like 100 deep backtests per second instead of one every 20 seconds. So we're talking 1,000 times faster, minimum. And so that in that way, instead of going and, opening up the settings and clicking one by one, just, firing off baseball after baseball, just trying to see, does this setting work? Does that setting work? Well, no, this system does it automatically. I go to bed, I run it overnight, I wake up, and it's giving me the best settings. Now, it's not actually optimizing for total profit. Keep in mind, it's not optimizing for that. The thing it's optimizing for is max drawdown, Sharpe ratio. And I'm telling you guys, those are the number one thing. You might want to throw in another one, Sortino ratio. Some people have other ratios they really like, the risk performance metrics. Sharpe, Sortino. Why aren't you doing profit factor trade tactics? Why don't you look, Sharpe ratio, I'll just click this little question mark here. You can pause to read here, but basically Sharpe ratio, this has been around since 1966, and it's volatility adjusted returns. So it's taking into account drawdown, how much wins and losses and risk, right, over a period of time. That's why I use Sharpe ratio. Now, Sortino ratio is very similar. It's just looking at downside. So you can look at Sortino ratio as well. Now, the actual calculations are quite difficult to actually match in Python or whatever backend system you're using, because TradingView doesn't tell you exactly how they're all done. But in our backend system here, we've got it perfectly matched up. Now, there might be one trade that's off, or maybe like 0.1 that's different in the max drawdown if you're side to siding it. But overall, it's virtually identical, other than slight anomalies and variations. So we've got the Sortino ratio coded properly, Sharpe ratio, and that's what's important, because I want to go from my backend system and then come back to TradingView and trade live using the system. Now, I could be trading using my backend system alone. It's just I like TradingView. It's a comfortable system. I like the website. Some people like some other trading platforms for their charts. I like TradingView. Hey, so be it. So yeah, this is the ADA 15-minute chart now. The other one was the 5-minute, and this system can virtually it can trade on any time frame. So I can set it up to go to run and come back. And so S&P, if you're trading Forex, right, this system can learn how to trade on any of those, because it's a flexible system. However, it's not too fixated. And the goal of this, I'll show you exactly what I mean. We have the training data. This is something called in-sample data. And then testing is out-of-sample data. This is the out-of-sample data. So this takes the parameters that it trained on, and it said, okay, how does this do on data that was cut and only revealed to me after the system has run? And so this is totally blind. And so yeah, the net profit comes down a little bit, but it's still beating buy and hold. That's the thing. Buy and hold actually at this period was around this much. So it's still beating, it's just ahead of buy and hold, which is acceptable. I mean, this is something you didn't have to set up any trades. You didn't have to really think about it. And it's just run. This bot is just running. Now we got all the other metrics here in the dashboard. And I want to show you something extremely important. In this system, we can look at Sharpe ratio here. We can add Sharpe, so we can see all of these up here. If it finds more than one parameter set, which often it does, this is just a quick test here, but there will be multiple parameter sets, so I can filter it and I can choose exactly which parameter set is the most robust. The most robust just means that it's statistically validated. and isn't just configured for historic data. That's the goal, is that it's actually going to work in real time in blinds testing. Now, for BFS trading, BFS testing, that's bootstrapping. A lot of you might know what that is, but for those of you who don't know what bootstrapping is, these are random simulations. And it tests it in hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of random simulations. So it randomizes all the price data. And it stress tests your system to the absolute limit. So this is the in-sample data. When I say in-sample, I just mean the data it shows the system up front from 2018 to 2022, randomized. And here's the results from the out-of-sample. You can see how, okay, in the absolute extreme situations, this system, this is the best simulation, the median simulation, the worst simulation, and you can see, okay, what is the worst of the worst outcome for this system? If I actually run this, how bad can it get? That's what firms want to know. And this is common terminology amongst firms or investors or people who are actually into algo trading. People who actually want to get involved in algo trading will learn what this is, how to use it, and how they can apply this in their trading, and whether they're okay with using a given parameter set, like these parameter sets on the left-hand side here. All of these questions are, how much risk am I taking on, and how bad can it get? So if we go to the worst simulation, yeah, it can get pretty bad. Let's see how bad this can get. So in the worst possible world, how bad is that drawdown? And that's what you want to see. So in the ideal world, though, in the actual world that we're living in, this normal testing data is some of the most important. And when I say testing, I just mean it's the out of sample. This is the blind testing. 33% win rate. So it's taking those big trades when it has the opportunity. It's exiting losing trades as quick as possible to minimize the max drawdown. And I can plug these parameters directly into TradingView and get the exact same results. And I just want to show you how these systems have been working so far. This is just some quick tests. I put in a couple grand into these, and this has been running for 6 days almost. It's going to be closing in on 7 days. They're both up around 5.5%, 5%. And so yeah, these bots, it's taking real trades. This is real money that I'm using. And as soon as I validate in live trading, then I up it to real money and start increasing from here. So once I'm satisfied with, okay, XLM, number one, the TA looks good on the chart. It looks like it might have some explosive moves soon. And I want my bot watching that chart, so that if that stock or crypto or Forex starts performing well, our bots are watching it. Now, I just want to show you one more trading system here. This is on the Ethereum 15-minute chart, and I'm just going to go through, show you how these line up one-to-one on TradingView. So this is the back end, the Ethereum 15-minute chart, and this is the front end. So this is a 10% drawdown, 1,212% net profit, and this is without even scaling. We're not even doing. Let's go back to let's add some commission in, and let's add percent of equity so we can do some compounding. Pretty crazy. If you want to take a quick look, it's 1,000,000% net profit. I didn't even maximize for net profit. I only maximized for max drawdown, and it's only around 38%. So the worst case scenario in this trading system, profit reinvesting, is still that's not even that scary. Zooming out, let's check the buy and hold return. It's around 370 over that time period, and this is 1,000,000%. Now, if you weren't profit reinvesting, it's, what was it, around 1,200%. Now, 370 compared to 1,200. You're beating buy and hold by around 3 times, and so that's a key metric to look for, because you're trying to benchmark against the buy and hold while trying to minimize your loss. So that's how good this can get. And this is a 50-minute ETH chart, 50-minute sniper. So I do have, like, if you made this far in the video, take a look at the WAP link. It's wap.com/tradetext. You can check this system out. I've been working on it for a couple years now, and this is not my first bot that I've built. I've been at this for several years, 5-7 years, really seriously coding trading bot systems, and this is really cutting edge. You're not going to find something better than this. So I'm definitely going to do more updates on how it performs live, how it's holding up, and what settings that I am able to achieve it actually running this system overnight, every single night. So if you guys want to let me know what you want to see, live streams, you want to watch live coding sessions, live trading sessions, if you want different questions answered about trading, robustness techniques, how I actually got this done, I'm willing to dive deep into it. So this is, if you want to hop on for the journey, guys, and actually see what works, what doesn't work. I promise I'm not going to just show the wins. I'm going to show, the wins, the hurdles, the losses, the triumphs, hopefully the victories, and share it all with you guys. So this is my journey, and I want you to come along for the ride. So if you want, you can comment down below. You can also find me in the Trade Tactics Discord. The link for that is in my link tree, or you can probably find it in the description down below. I have some bot settings here that you can find in the best bot settings tab. If you're on Discord, I highly recommend joining. It's free. It's a really good group to come hang out and customize bots with, learn how to actually code these for yourself. If you are trying to find a winning strategy and code it for yourself in real time, or if you're looking for ideas, this is the place to be. And so just tag me or comment down below. I'm very active. I'm usually always just coding, so if I don't reply right away, I will do my best. Usually somewhere in the shadows coding, but I hope to start sharing more of this journey as I go on. So if you liked this kind of content, like the video. It helps get it out to more people, and I'll see you in the next video.